Welcome to another episode of Journeys by Steph. Today's guest is a serial entrepreneur. She is the founder of one of the biggest beauty chains in Oman. She is also the founder of Oman's first department store called Bazarna, and she is the CEO of Duplipark, as well as the empowering tribe leader in Oman. And I guess the list goes on. So welcome, Daisy Sabbagh. Welcome to our podcast. How are you today?
Thank you first for having me. It's an honor. I'm looking forward for this episode.
Me too.
Let's get going.
Yep, let's do this. So as you know, Daisy, the whole podcast is to share our intercultural journeys and to bring more awareness to the audience. And you have a very interesting background, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship. So would you like to maybe start by telling us a bit about your journey so far?
So I'm an eldest of 3 girls. So growing up, it was always for me very, I felt that I had a lot of things to prove and a lot of responsibility since I was the eldest. I always felt that I was not gonna live in my home country, that's Lebanon, and I always felt that I have a journey outside for me to discover.
All right.
So growing up, I went to university in Beirut. I've studied 2 years in the US, then went back to Beirut. Then I met my husband in university, who happens to live in Oman. Hence why I'm here. So I moved to Oman, a country that I knew nothing about. First, I thought it was Amman. First, I thought I was going to Jordan. Then, I realized, no.
And I think it's still a confusion up until today for a lot of people when you say Oman.
Then I realized that Oman is... I came here with my father, saw how the country was. And then, we got engaged and I moved to Oman, a new country that I knew no one here.
Interesting.
Didn't know the background because I come from a very busy city, things that goes very fast. And I came here, and at the beginning it was quite a shock because you come from a very busy, fast environment to a very calm, respectful place. Coming from Lebanon, you know that it's like a jungle.
Full of brush, yes.
Yeah, not only like from a speed-wise, also from, I would say, culture-wise. So you always have to hustle. Whereas here, no, everything's calm, smooth. You take it easy. Things will happen, inshallah. So
famous word.
Yeah, but you know what? It's part of its charm.
Yeah, that's true.
So I came here, and then I realized, what am I gonna do now? Because I was coming from a background of, I had a lot of motivation. I wanted to do things in life. And then I come here and things are slow. I'm working in a field that I didn't pretty much like. It was not me, not someone who is happy with the routine. So I decided to continue my master's.
Okay.
And I said, okay, you know what? And I couldn't find a place to do my nails.
Oh, wow.
That was very dramatic. I couldn't find a place who could do a smiley, good French. So I was like, you know what? I'm doing my master's. And I told my husband, I cannot continue like this. It's either I do something and I keep myself busy. It's true the country is quiet, but I need to be busy. I need to be super busy. And he was like, yes, yalla, I support you. Go ahead, do what you want. And this is how it came with the idea of opening Dashing. I started, I knew nothing about the country. It took me maybe 2 years to find the location because no one wanted to give someone who is an expat a location, in a prime location. So I had one location in not a very prime location, my first location. And then after that, I opened my second branch, which was The Wave. And then the ball started rolling.
So how many branches do you have now?
Currently, we have 4 for ladies and 1 for men.
Amazing.
And it was not easy, for sure. But I don't see that it was not easy because I was an expat. I think whenever any entrepreneur in any country, in any setting, at the beginning, it's a learning experience.
100%.
So it was a learning experience for me because, number one, I didn't know the culture, I didn't know the country, I didn't know the rules, I didn't have any support. So I always considered my first branch, which now is closed, was like my learning
curve.
My learning curve, my whatever I spent on that first location is a university for me. I went to university in that first location. And then I learned, and from there,
flourished.
Things started becoming better. You just need a little bit of patience.
Yeah, of course. But then what is maybe the risk of opening something in a new place? And let's say a new place in a culture that you're not very familiar with.
For sure, number one is rules and regulation, because you need to really do a lot of research. Because what is acceptable, for example, is in Lebanon is not acceptable here. I'll give a small example. For example, having a male hairdresser. Yeah. In Lebanon, all the hairdressers are male. If you find a female hairdresser, it's so rare.
Very.
Whereas here, if you want to find a male hairdresser,
that's
it's
super
so
rare.
and sometimes you lose clients if you have a male hairdresser, because some families say like, no, you don't go to a place where there is a male hairdresser. Hence the rules. So you learn, and what I really liked actually here, like it is also different from Lebanon. In Lebanon, for example, beauty salons, they fix their things, or the hygiene is according to
correct
the person's
needs.
Not only need, like for example, if I'm an owner and I'm picky, then I will make sure that it's very hygienic. Whereas here you have the rules, the regulations, you have municipality coming and checking.
So it forces those things.
So you have law that is enforced that lacks in Lebanon. So ups and downs, pros and cons.
Correct.
You just have to learn how to go with the flow.
Okay. And what about your other ventures as well? You spoke about the Bazarna.
Yes. So basically, again, going back to the subject, you really need to learn how to be agile. You cannot be very rigid. One of the challenges, going back to your earlier question, one of the challenges that I had at the beginning was me being rigid. Okay. Me and my business partner, like we thought, okay, this is the way that it should be this way. Whereas no, and with experience and after the first branch, you learn that no, you have to
move along with the
ball.
Be
a little bit agile for you to carry on. And this is where I will come to the point of how I was led to Bazarna. So Bazarna is an online department store. And during COVID, it was a very tough period for us in beauty salons. We were closed for 8 months straight.
It's a long time.
We had salaries to pay. We have rents to pay in high-end malls.
Yeah.
We have accommodation. We had all the other expenses that was there. The only thing that kept us going was us being agile, and actually at the time we were lucky because we were setting up our online department, our online store, and we survived the 8 months on the sales of the items that were sold online. So and again, it was not enough to cover all those expenses. We were losing, but not as much as any other salon our size was losing, because we were covering up a little bit of expenses here and there. So this opened my eyes. Consumer behavior changed, and they were accepting more to buy online. And now, up to today, we have almost 50% of our retail products are sold online.
Wow.
So it gave me a
idea,
even though a lot of people think that maybe Oman is not the right place for retail. I strongly believe that it will become one, because at some point, every country will start slowly, but at some point it will
progress,
peak.
Yeah.
And by the time when it peaks, hopefully I will be one of the pioneer, right?
Okay.
So why not? And I think I'm someone who is not scared of taking risks. Even though at some point, going back, and I'm thinking when I was in COVID, and I was thinking, what did I do to myself? How did I put myself in this situation? So many branches. Why did I even do this? You know, I doubted myself. So I think I really thrive on new challenges.
Okay.
And this is who I am. So,
do you think that your upbringing or the place that you were raised in has played a role in maybe the way you are now?
for sure. And I will go back to when I told you I'm the eldest of 3 girls. I come from family, like in my family tree. There's only one boy from the grandkids, and I remember my grandmother that is so dear to my heart that I love to death. We live in the same building, so every day we were coming down the stairs to say hi to her, and she would say to my parents, "So, when are you gonna have a boy?" And I'm like, "Why? I'm not enough. Am I not enough?" And growing older, I always felt that I need to prove that I am enough. And my parents always were there supporting me and always telling me, yes, you can do it. And being the eldest always was taking care of my younger sisters.
Makes sense.
So it was
kind of built in.
Yeah.
Well, you have a son now.
Yes.
And I know you're very keen on the whole mindset of entrepreneurship. So how are you kind of instilling that concept or that culture in your son nowadays?
I think I do it unconsciously because he sees...
Lead by example.
Yes, he sees who I am, and he is actually interested. And I've always told him, because I'm with my son, sometimes when it's something that he doesn't like, he gets stuck and he doesn't like to do it.
Okay.
But if he likes something, he will push till the end. And I always try to instill in his mind that, remember, you don't say I can't. Everything is figureoutable. So now he knows when he's trying to say, I can't. I look at him and like, remember? He will tell me, yes, everything is figureoutable. So I live by this. Everything is figureoutable. There's nothing you can say, no, I cannot do it. Maybe it will take longer.
But it will still happen.
Maybe you will struggle along the way, but you can still do it. You can figure it out.
Okay. And you also mentioned that you're now the CEO of Duplipark. Can you maybe tell me a bit about the culture between the beauty salon versus, let's say, or maybe you can start by telling us what is Duplipark?
Yes. So Duplipark is a parking management company and a construction of multi-story car park. So basically you will tell me, what from dashing to parking to construction.
Exactly.
It's a little bit confusing.
100%.
It is actually not, because at the end of the day, everything I do is so customer centric.
Okay.
And we want, like in the parking management, you want the customer to live happy. In the beauty industry, you want the customer to be happy.
Of course.
So it was very similar for me, even though the structure, the reporting, the delegation, for me, again, I'm known as the queen of delegation. So I really like to surround myself with the people who I can delegate to.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter nationality, doesn't matter gender, doesn't matter. If you find the right people, hang on to them. Because if you want to grow, this is the only way that you will grow. You need people around you who are experts, and you cannot be in 100 places at the same time.
For that we know.
So that's the only way you can
manage.
Even if they do 60% of your work, that's still a plus.
That's true.
50%. If they do 50% right, 50% wrong, it's okay.
At least they're doing 50% right.
Correct. So what was the question?
The difference between, first of all, what is Duplipark, but at the
Yes.
same time the difference between both.
So in my beauty industry, My business partner is Italian. So European mentality. In Duplipark, we have different shareholders. We have also European, French, and we have also Lebanese. So dealing with European is totally different than dealing with Lebanese.
Please do explain. Like I think this is very important to bring to the table, because it shows you how different nationalities or different cultures play a role when it comes to work, or when it comes to...
It's so funny, because just this morning driving here, I was talking with my business partner, and we always laugh. So she's the one who always look in the contracts. She's the one who is like very well organized. I am the one that is like all over, ideas and things.
Creative side.
So we really complement each other. I wouldn't say she is right or I am right, or she's wrong or I am wrong. I think we really complement each other, and it's very important knowing different nationalities and different background. It's always to be able to understand the other person.
Definitely.
Maybe another person like her should say like, what the hell? Like, how can I work with someone like this?
Yeah.
Because I like to be there on time. I like to do things the right way. I told you at the beginning, I was like her. I don't fall into the Lebanese mindset. So I was like her, and along the way, I learned to, to be a little bit Lebanese, a little bit.
I think that's a good thing sometimes, right?
Yes,
just to be able to kind of make your way through.
Correct. So dealing with Europeans is definitely different than dealing with Lebanese. For me, it's harder to deal with Lebanese than to deal with Europeans, because like in a European culture, you know what is expected of you, whereas in a Lebanese culture, you kind of try to figure it out.
That's true.
And the culture is totally different. Then I would say also from a shareholder point of view, I think both culture grew on me.
In what sense?
I think I like things here from the European part, but I also like things from the Lebanese part. And I think the fact that I am able to deal with this is really special for me, because it makes me who I am. And I learned a lot from my business partner. Like, for example, when I first moved to Oman, we wanted to open dashing. She was so much eager about clean beauty. In the Gulf, I'm telling you, 13, 14 years ago.
It wasn't.
And I was looking at her like, clean beauty? Why does it matter? And I was very young. I was 23. So I was like, clean beauty? You Europeans, And I was like, okay, you want clean beauty? We will
Let's
put clean
do it.
beauty. No problem. Just to
give it to her.
Yes, to get in business and but now I really learned a lot from her culture. And I was driving this morning and I was telling her, and she was telling me, we have a training coming up for our staff. And as I told you, she's very organized and very structured, and we were trying to find a date for training, and we couldn't, because either the staff is busy or the trainer in Italy is busy, and she's like, for the training, I will maybe not be able to stay the whole time there. But, I said, it's okay.
It's fine.
It's okay, because otherwise we will never do the training.
Yeah.
And I was like, bravo. That's a first,
She's learning how to be agile, basically.
She told me, yes, I'm learning from you, even though I'm not seeing you much these days. But, we learn from each other.
That's true. And I think that's the beauty of things, right? When you work with people from different cultures, you end up sometimes taking things from them. And I think if you don't, then this is where you're stuck. And that's why you have a lot of people that probably don't end up succeeding in certain things, because you're so stuck on the way that you're doing things, and you're so fixed on how you want things to be done that you're not willing to compromise, whether it's as a shareholder, an entrepreneur, or even as a leadership position in a certain company, right? Even as friends, I guess. Sometimes if you're not willing to somehow compromise, and when I say compromise, I definitely don't mean losing your part of yourself.
Yes, of course.
But I mean compromising in a way that is, meeting the other person halfway and, as you said, understanding them, right?
Trying to understand where they come from.
Exactly.
Because really, for example, again, at the beginning when I came to Oman, coming from a very busy place, I couldn't understand why that job cannot be done now. I couldn't understand. But now, for example, if I want something done, instead of telling them now, go do it now, I plan for it 2 weeks in advance. Or I know, for example, that I'll give an example.
Yes, please.
If I want a clearance, and I know anywhere else in the world, like in Lebanon, if you want an employee, you will get him now. There's a clearance, no clearance, doesn't matter.
You just get the person.
You just get the person, right? Whereas here, no, there's a process, and that process takes 1 month. Fine. So now I know the process. So a month in advance, I would say I will finish my clearance and I apply for another one. So my work is not affected.
That's true.
So you learn how to be agile.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, we keep going around the concept of agility, but I really do think that it's important in everything that you do, whether it's, at home with your partner, whether it's at work, whether it's anywhere. Even if you go to a new country, you still need to learn how to be agile just to get your things done. That's it. It's as simple as that. Speaking of like nationalities and those, I'm just going back a bit. In your beauty salon, do you, and being a Lebanese and knowing how things are usually done, does this kind of affect your recruitment? Like, do you sometimes recruit people based on nationalities, or because you know that things are done in a certain way, or because you have, let's say, especially in the beauty world, because beauty standards differ from one place to the other, right? And sometimes when you know something and this is what you want to offer, you tend to, not you specifically, but we tend to select certain people that fit that criteria. So how do you go about that?
So our team is multinational. So we have from many nationalities. So we have South African, we have Tunisian, we have Jordanian, we have Lebanese, we have Italian, we have Filipinos, we have from Kyrgyzstan, from Iran.
It's a good mix.
So we're quite diverse. I would say majority of, like for example, I would say Filipinos are the best in, let's say, normal manicure and pedicure. Iranian are very good in nail art. South African are good with hair. Arab hairdressers are good with hair as well. When I choose, I forgot Omanis. We have Omanis.
Of course.
All our front office are all Omanis. So whenever we are looking for staff, at least in our company, nationality is, of course, important, but it's not the number one factor when choosing an employee. The number one factor when choosing an employee is actually his attitude. So for us, attitude is very important. And then we see, because everything is, like if someone knows the basic, you can just bring them and train them because now we have the expertise. But for me, attitude is key number one. Nationality give you an indication of what they might be good at.
Depending where they're coming from.
But not necessarily
the main factor.
Yes.
And with that with that mix basically that you have, how do you get them all to somehow work together, knowing that they really come from completely different places? So how do you get them all? Because obviously each one has their own culture, but at the same time, in dashing, you also have your own internal culture. I
have a funny story to tell you here. When I first opened dashing, we had the branch in next to the old ABA, Gallery Muscat. And we had a Scottish staff.
Okay.
She used to do nails. She was very sweet, but I always felt there's something about her. She does not connect with me. She always connected with Isabel, knowing that they're both European. And I felt that she didn't like me much. So she worked with us for 2 years. Poor thing. And I will tell you why poor, okay?
I'm waiting.
So then before she left, she came to me and she opened up. She was like, every time she used to come to speak to me, I would tell her, شو Sarah? And her face would change and I wouldn't understand. Then she came to me before her contract finished. She was like, for the longest time, every time I used to come to speak to you, you would tell me shoo.
And she didn't understand?
And because she had graduated and came to Oman, so she did not live in Oman, and she didn't know what shoo means.
Oh, wow.
So she was thinking, every time she used to come to me and I will tell her shoo, like I am shooing her.
Oh my God, wow,
like,
wow.
Oh, wow. Like I was genuinely being kind. She thought I was
pushing her away.
Like I'm showing her.
If this is such a good story, by the way.
So just to understand, like same work environment, and she thought I was being nice with everyone, and with her, like I was showing her, like that poor thing. She lived with me 2 years thinking I was showing her,
and she never spoke about it.
No.
Wow, I think this is just to show you that even a small, tiny language barrier. Not even a language barrier, it's probably just a word, right? A different word can sometimes mean different things in different places. And so what happened once you kind of explained it to her?
She says, now I know.
Well, it's a bit too late.
But I think she realized that before telling me the story. Otherwise, she wouldn't have opened up.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I mean, I think this is just mind-blowing because you really see the impact that certain things have on certain people or certain words might have on certain people. So from that experience, what did you kind of learn and how do you implement it now with your team?
So now whenever we're interviewing someone, the first number one question that we ask, how are you, have you worked in an international environment first? Because like for example, Filipinos culture is different from
100%.
South African culture, and they all live in a shared accommodation. So it's not only working with someone,
they're bound to live with each other.
They're actually living together, which is very intense. Some people decide to live on their own, which I totally respect, because at work I can maybe
get them
work
to
with you,
exactly,
but it doesn't mean I can live with you. So number one question we ask is, are you used to work in a multinational team? And if they don't, we make sure once they come that they get a proper training, and we have some rules and regulation that they have to follow to respect. For example, people's time at home. After a certain time, accommodation has to be quiet. In the morning, the kitchen has to be cleaned in a way because some nationality food is different from the other. The smells are different,
true.
That's
true.
But I think we have a good
relationship.
Team. Yeah, our team is really getting along very well, and I think a big role goes to our. We have designated managers in each locations that luckily one of them is half Filipino, half Omani.
That's an interesting mix.
So she understands
both,
which is kind of cool because it makes my life much easier.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so on that note, I wanted to ask, you mentioned once in a conversation that you love to empower people.
Yeah.
How does this fall under, managing people, empowering them? With different cultures, you have certain people that usually take initiatives, but at the same time, you have others who usually shy away from it, depending on, their upbringing or where they worked before. So how do you work around that?
I love to find what someone is good at and work around it. I had a girl that was really good at her job, but was always shy. We pushed her, we gave her the training to be because she knows what she's doing. Now all she had to do is transfer that knowledge. So we pushed her to be a team leader, and which helped her to, now she's been with us, I think, 2 years. And now she's handling a whole nail section.
Nice.
I have, as I told you, the lady that is managing, that's half Filipino, half Omani. She came out of college, and she's been almost 2 years with us. I would say she's my right hand in dashing, because really, 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 she gets me, and she's a fast learner. So I always look for the strength of people, and I try to push them from there. Because, as I said, for sure they're not in this job to stay where they are. Everyone has an ambition.
Correct.
So we'll help them
Move
reach
forward
where they want to reach, maybe higher and higher, and will give me more time to do what I really want to do.
So on that note as well, I wanted to ask, you also, at one point in your life, you worked with a family business.
Yeah.
Did you feel that there's a difference between the culture in a family business versus the culture in another place where you have a separate business partner and it's fully focused on the way you are building up that space?
Definitely. Family business is totally different from having a partner. For example, in our business, for example, me and my business partner, everything is black and white, 1 + 1 = 2. In a family business, it's much more different. So it's let's say, sometimes it's much easier to maneuver, but sometimes it's much harder.
Yes, for sure.
So it has the pros and cons. If you tell me which one I like most,
Let me guess, not the family business?
I like them both.
Okay. Any
like
preference?
I like them both because each one brings out of me a different side. In my personal business, I express myself fully, like it's me. In my family business, it tames me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I have some directions to follow, which I'm not really good at, but I'm working on it.
Okay. And this is part of being agile as well,
Yes.
right? Being able to navigate through the different, even when it comes to decision making, right? Sometimes you're used to making certain decisions on your own and you're the final decision maker versus in a place where you can give your opinion, but it might not be the final, it might not be the final call. And sometimes I think this really shapes a person in the way that they move around.
Sure.
I want to shift a bit to your son.
Yeah.
So he is being raised basically what we call a third cultural space, right? You come from a certain background, your husband comes from a certain background, but he's in a third space with, let's say, being raised in an international place. How do you maybe instill the values that you want in him?
That's actually a very hard question, because for me and for my husband, Oman is home. So it's true that we are originally Lebanese, but my husband was raised here.
So for him, this is what he knows.
And my son was born in Lebanon for 15 days, and then he was...
So basically here.
He was raised here. As I told you, I've never felt I belonged in Lebanon. I always knew I will not be in Lebanon. Lebanon for us is a place where we go back for fun.
Okay.
It's a vacation country where we go, we see our loved ones. We go to our vacation home for maybe 3 weeks, 1 month, and we are back home. But for sure, there are similarities and differences between the Lebanese culture and the Omani culture. There are many Omani traits that I am happy that my son is carrying. I think the things that I want him to learn from the Lebanese culture, he gets when he goes on holiday. So he's getting a little bit more street smart when he's there, because he goes around and he mingles with Lebanese kids, which is a plus. But he gets that calmness, that, following the laws, the rules. From here, which I really like.
Talking about street smart, this has been brought up in several conversations with other people, mainly Lebanese people, when they say that when their kids are raised outside of Lebanon, going back, they want them somehow to be exposed to this street smart because things are a bit more, let's say, chaotic. In
the real world.
In the real world, yes, exactly. In the real world, things are more chaotic, and sometimes we live in certain bubbles, good bubbles, but sometimes, and I think this is very interesting because this is also a value, right? You want your son probably to have that value of knowing how to navigate certain things without living in, a sheltered place all of his life.
Because we are lucky enough to be living in a safe place.
Of course.
A place that has some rules to follow. But then, is he gonna stay his entire life here? No.
Maybe not.
He will maybe go out, study in university outside, live in a big city, crowded city, dangerous city. So he needs to have those life skills, I would say. And being exposed to different culture definitely helps.
Definitely. I mean, it gives him a completely different view to the whole world, right?
Like, for example, I remember one time we went to AUH. He had a doctor appointment. And he had lived all his life here. Like, I think he was 4 or 5. And coming down the car, he found a kid on the street begging for money. Like, the beggars.
Yeah.
And he got traumatized.
Because he's never seen one before.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, Mom, please, can we give him money? Can we give him food? Please, can we take him with us home? I'm like, Mom, I cannot take him with me home. He has his own parents. What do you mean? I swear to God, he kept on going. So we went to the doctor. We finished. When we came back from the doctor, he was looking for him. And he was begging me, please find him because we need to take him home with me. How he was almost his age. So he really felt for the boy that there was no parents around him. He was on the street alone, He really wanted to take him home with me. And I was trying to explain to him, but Mama, you said he doesn't have parents. I was like, he has parents,
but they're just not here.
But they're sending him maybe out there to help them with the rent, or I don't know. Like I had to make up a story. And he kept on going about it for a month. But it's good for him to see that not everyone is
in the same condition.
That he's living. We have to. This is real life.
It's true. This is real life. But at the same time, I think it's also so nice that you mentioned that he felt for him, because I think we also live in a world where a lot of people don't have that empathy anymore. And so seeing how raw it is with kids makes you realize that even as grown-ups, you need to learn how to be more empathetic with the different types of people that you're dealing with, regardless whether you choose to be part of that world or not, but still having that sense of empathy. I think it comes very beautifully in kids versus us having to really be conscious about being empathetic or trying to understand someone else, because most of the time with the busy life, we're just tired, right? And we have a lot of things going on that you probably don't have the energy to try to understand someone else or put yourself in someone else's shoes. And so I just wanted to kind of highlight this on that topic. All right. And just kind of wrapping things up, I want to tap on you're the Empowering Tribe leader here. But at the same time, you founded something called, Women Supporting Women. So what was maybe the trigger behind that?
Actually, also during COVID, because I had this idea.
COVID was good.
Yes, I had that idea actually before COVID, but I was always procrastinating on it. And I felt that we were always gathering, we were all women, and there was not enough substance in the conversation. And I knew that every single one of us had something to offer. So within the same group, we were a group of maybe maybe 40 ladies, and that we were meeting each other, but no one knew exactly what the other woman was doing because no one was talking about their business
achievements
life.
or business.
So after COVID, during COVID, I started posting a little bit here and there, and then after COVID, I was like, you know what? Now is a chance to put all those women in one room
place.
and let them share, and let them share of what they are doing. And you would be surprised that women that spends days together didn't know that, for example, Stephanie had a degree in this. And it's like, really? They didn't know what the background, like the professional background of each woman that they have coffee with every day is. So it was quite an eye-opener, and it was nice because we could share struggles, experiences, opportunities. Like, it became much more open, and many of them joined the Empowering Tribe. And hopefully we will get many more of them after this podcast.
Hopefully. I mean, please feel free to reach out to Daisy for this. But at the same time, because I thought this was very interesting, right? And I'm one of the people that reached out to you as well. But why was it that you were focused on women, per se?
Because I feel I'm surrounded with a lot of expat women. And I feel when they move with their husband, they're leaving their professional life behind. So I wanted to create a space for them where they can be themselves again and feel that they are useful, that they can still do what they like to do, even in a country that they think, okay, I might be here for 2 years and I'm leaving. It's okay, because you might be here for 2 years and then you can take that experience with you somewhere else, or you can be here for 10 years. Nobody knows, because Oman, when you're in Oman,
I would know. I came here for a year and here I am 6 years later.
You come for 2 years, but you stay here for 10. So don't lose your days,
hope or momentum,
and without doing anything useful for you.
And I think this comes out of your entrepreneurship mindset,
I think
right?
So.
Yeah. The willingness to do something, right, and create a space, whether it's in construction, whether it's in beauty, even a space for women to just kind of be themselves and feel free. It's just a way to get people to connect with each other, and I think this is part of your own internal identity, right?
I agree, because when I came here and I was not doing what I wanted to do, I was not happy. I was only happy when I started feeling productive, when I started coming in the morning, putting my clothes on, getting out of the house, and as expat women, they sometimes feel that they are stuck.
Yeah, that's true.
They shouldn't be stuck. Everything is Figureoutable. Remember.
I remember you said that. I think it was the second or third time that we met, and you mentioned this, and I think it's a very nice way of doing things, right?
Yeah.
Because then you stop putting limitations for yourself. And sometimes when we move to a new country, especially if we're not moving for work, let's say we're moving with the family, it's very hard to find your community. It's very hard to find your space. So what maybe advice would you give people moving to a new country, and whether they want to open their own thing, or whether they just want to kind of fit in, be expressive, and belong somewhere?
You have to start. If it's perfect, not perfect, what you have in mind, you have to
start somewhere.
Start. Everything else will come along the way. You just baby steps. But at least you feel that you are doing something, right? And along the way you will learn, okay, maybe this way is better, no, that way is better. And I'm sure, for example, you starting your podcast, along the way you are learning.
Oh wow, so much.
So for me, if I maybe started the first dashing and I thought, it was not a great success, I would have stopped. Where no, like, you start, whether it is from putting yourself out there to meeting new people, do the effort. You start. Everything else will fall into place at due time.
Yeah, you just have to kind of put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Well, Daisy, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being part of this podcast. I think there was a lot to share with the audience, especially.
Spoke a lot, yeah.
No, I think it's great. That's again, this is what this whole thing is all about, right? And we brought up a lot of the entrepreneurship mindset into it. Thank you so much again for being part of it. And again, whoever wants to join the Empowering Tribe, Daisy is your person. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, for having me. It's a pleasure. We will miss you.
Oh yeah, for those who don't know, I'm leaving.
So inshallah we will see you.
Yes, for
soon.
sure. Definitely. So the key takeaway from today's episode is really sometimes it's important to take risks and don't be afraid to ask questions and just start. Thank you for watching another episode of Journeys by Steph, and don't forget to subscribe.